Good evening, everyone. Our guest speaker is in the room, so we can begin. We shall start the meeting shortly. I'll be calling the meeting to order. Just hold on. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. I'd like to thank you for joining us this evening. This is the 39th meeting of the Rotary Year 2020-2021. We have a great speaker this evening, but first we shall start with the Rotary procedures. So we shall start with the Rotary Grace, which will be led by immediate past President Njoki Mangi.
Okay, good evening, members. Good evening, Mr. President. Thank you for the opportunity. I will now recite the Rotary Grace. O God and giver of all good, we thank thee for our daily food. May Rotary friends and Rotary ways help us to serve thee all of our days. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, IPP. Next, we shall have the loyal toast, and that will be by the president. So if you have a glass, please charge it. If not, you can place your right hand over your heart. To His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya. To the President.
The President.
The President.
To the President.
Thank you very much. Next, we shall move over to the four-way test. And this shall be recited by the President of Rotary Club of Euro and Afia, President Innocent Oko. President Innocent?
Thank you very much, President Malaki. So the four-way test, you can all help me in reciting this. Of the things you think, say, or do, is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you very much, President. Thank you for joining us this evening. So we shall move to the announcements. The first announcement I shall make on behalf of our incoming. We shall be having a club on assembly. Sorry about that. Shall have a club assembly on the 10th of May. So this is the purpose of this club assembly will be for our president-elect and his team to table their plans to us, the membership of the club, so that we can discuss them as well as approve of them. So my call to members is to attend that meeting, as it's a very important meeting. It's one that we are charting the way forward for the next Rotary year. So it will be great to have you in attendance. The next announcement, I shall invite our Vice President Wanja to give it to us. VP?
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, fellow Rotarians, Rotaractors and guests. Mine is to hype or encourage us to look forward to attending the DCA, which will be held next year between the 12th and the 15th of May, 2022. Next year, we're looking to have more people attending the DCA. And the reason I speak this evening so that we can now begin to encourage malipo ya pole pole, payment, slow payment. We will be gathering in Diani to celebrate basically the memories of this year, Rotary year. We know that we're under the theme One Love, that has been, that was launched, and that is really what the district governor-elect is looking to ride on during this year. And we're looking to finish the year with a bang next year in Diani. This year will be at Neptune Hotel, Neptune Resort Convention Center in Spa. So we are encouraging all our members, all our guests, all the Rotaractors to please let's join, let's attend, let's go in numbers. We have been doing this year, our numbers are normally 4, 5, 6 people, but this year we're looking to encourage that we can have more people attend. So we are calling out for guys to start doing Malipo ya Pole Pole. If I'm not wrong, right now this year is 16,000. Right, I think around 16,000. If it's not gone up, I'll confirm and send to the club members the actual cost. But yes, Malipo ya Pole Pole is encouraged so that we can all attend this year, next year at Neptune Resort from the 12th to the 15th of May 2022. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very, very much, VP. So the last announcement is on induction. We shall be having an induction of new members on the 8th of May. And the purpose of this induction is so that these members can take part in the club assembly. So far, we have 5 potential members. And my request is to anyone listening who would like to be inducted as a member of this club, please reach out to me directly or to Njoki, Rotarian Njoki Mange, Njoki Ndungu, sorry, Rotarian Njoki Ndungu. And we can guide you towards the induction process to be a member of this club. So at the moment we have 5 to name them. There's Sharon, there's Susan, there's Corinne, there's Fred, and there's Elsie. So those are the 5 potential members. And we hope to be more on that day. So we shall give more details as we approach the date on the location where we plan to have this induction of members. Thank you. Okay, so we shall move, and for this I shall request Rotarian Joel Ondurwa to make the introduction of our guest speaker this evening. Joel.
Thank you for attending this meeting. Today I have the pleasure of introducing Tim Kipchumba, who is the CFO of Questworks, an award-winning solar construction and engineering company. He has developed expertise in achieving cost savings through managing all aspects of supply chain management, particularly in international procurement, over the course of 8 years. He has helped save several 100 million Kenya shillings for Strathmore University and even more for other clients in the US, Kenya, Uganda, and Nigeria. At Questwork, he leads the procurement, finance, and tax division of the company, where he has handled business cases, business case development, fundraising, finance, financial planning and reporting, scheduling, logistics, and negotiation. Tim is also an author and a mentor at Mentorthon. His first book, Unstoppable, has inspired thousands of young Kenyans to overcome financial and social limitations in the pursuit of their dreams. Tim holds a business IT degree, Masters of Commerce Operations from Strathmore University, and an advanced diploma in procurement and supply from CIPS UK. He has achieved multiple awards, including Business Daily 2015 Top 40 Under 40 Men's Award, 2016 Presidential Obama Mandela Washington Fellowship, and in 2017 British Future Leaders Connect. It's my pleasure to welcome Tim to this meeting to talk to us. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoy the session.
Thank you so much, Joel and President and the Club of Rotary, Club of Madaraka. It's a really great pleasure for me to be part of your club this evening. I happened to have been a Rotaractor a couple of years ago, about 10 years ago, and I'm just delighted to be. I'm just delighted to be part of your club. I don't know if you can hear me, just so that I don't.
We can hear you very well.
Okay. So what I will do now, since we don't have that much time, I will just take you through a short presentation. So yeah, so thank you so much. So what you see on the screen this evening is something that I'm sure is very, very familiar to you as a Rotarian and someone really passionate about service above self and largely the four-way test. But even if you aren't a Rotarian this evening, this is something that is very close to the art of our country. It turns out that if you could help a young person stay in school, you could increase their income by 8%, which means that every year that compounds. So it means that if someone were to stay in school for 10 more years, you could double or more than triple their income. And that is from a goalkeeper's report. And it's very good news because it means that there is proven data that shows that helping students stay in school, whether it's by encouraging them or getting them school fees or giving them scholarship as you're doing with some of your members, is a fundamental way to change life. So that's our talk this evening would be a mentorship marathon, which is, and I'm hoping that it might also be form a way in which we can catalyze your experience as a Rotaractor, as a Rotarian, and a good citizen of this country. So maybe just a little bit about me. The very dark guy you see there with white teeth, that's me. Just receiving my honors degree at Strathmore University, where I won a Guinness scholarship, which is why you see on that slide I say education and luck. I was lucky in many ways, in the way that I won a scholarship in undergrad and ended up studying through scholarship. I subsequently did CIPS, which is Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply. So I'm a procurement professional, and I did that mostly so that I could tell people that I finally have a career, because my first degree had nothing to do with what we currently do. Because I got chosen as a Mandela Washington Fellow and the President Obama Fellow, I studied at Rutgers for 3 months. And then I did some policy as well as leadership courses at Cambridge University. So that's a little bit about me. It's a story of luck. It's a story of how I've been fortunate. In high school, I won a World Vision Scholarship, and in postgraduate, I won an young people or supporting scholarships. I believe that is a really excellent thing to do. What I do, that's an interesting article, and it was almost scandalous because it came at a time when there was a first generation of Chinese Kenyan babies, so people could have easily confused that title. But the reason for that title is because that's my area of core competency. I have imported a little over 600 containers, managed spend more than $10 million, and I've saved our clients several hundreds of thousands just by tackling international logistics, international sourcing, tax planning, and that kind of work. What I do on a day-to-day basis is that I'm a CFO at a company called Questworks, which I'm a co-founder for. But then I also teach very, very little, maybe once or twice a year at Strathmore Business School on those areas of international sourcing, capital raising, as well as supply chain management. So that's a little bit about what I do professionally. Some of our work, that is Strathmore University. We not only did all those buildings that you see, particularly the new buildings, but what is even more cool is that we did that solar plant there. And maybe perhaps the coolest thing about that photo is that the drone that took those photos was assembled by our engineers one Valentine day. That's one project that we did turnkey. It's called Sir Thomas More Building at Strathmore University. We've done other projects like Vivo Energy. That's about 16 acres of tank farm, as well as large infrastructure. The unique thing about that project is that we did the first on-grade post-tension technology, which allows you not to have to excavate or cut away because you have black cotton soil, so you save money and you save time. And of course, consequently, you save carbon emission, because 70% of our carbon emissions in our industry come from steel and cement. Perhaps the coolest and the largest effort that we've been involved in is Kenya's, or the region's largest solar plant of 700 acres. We were a small partner in that delivery, but it's an exciting space because it's the largest solar plant in the region, more than 98 megawatts of solar. So that's a little bit about what we do, just to give you a little bit of background. We are known as an industry authority on quality. We've done a lot of work to support our industry, particularly built environment industry and infrastructure, to show people that there is something that can be done about the bad rising stock of construction buildings in the country. As Africa continues to grow over the next couple of years, one thing that will happen, we will be accumulating a lot of real estate assets, or rather infrastructure assets. The worst thing is to accumulate toxic assets in the form of bad quality buildings. And so we've been trying to see what we can do by, giving free building tests, or giving equipment, or giving knowledge, and that's part of our effort. On the side, I written 2 books. I'm almost like a one-up author, really. I've written 1 or 2 books. One has done exceedingly well. It's been read by over 300,000 high school students. That's Unstoppable. The other one is Different Millionaires, which is just the story of how young people could listen to themselves and pick up a skill and then potentially delve and commit themselves to that learning of that skill and turn that into passion and money. I've written once or twice in the newspapers, but I stopped writing when the NSIS one day followed me, because I wrote to the president telling them that the rich must add value. Just the same way in United States, for instance, you can trace wealth of people to things that they have done in the past. You can't say that about Africa. Most of the richest people in Africa are largely politicians, and we have to change that. A country can't get freedom without honest wealth creation journey. And yes, I'm a founder for Mentorthon, which is Mentorship Marathon, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that shortly. My family, I'm incredibly lucky also. We have 3 boys. The young one is not there. 12, 7, and 1. The 12-year-old came very early. He came so early. We weren't expecting him. We just fell pregnant when we were 23, but it turned out to be a really awesome experience, and we thank God for them. My wife is a medic, so this last 1 year, she's been on the front line, and we pray that the COVID subsides. We ask that people can social distance and take care of themselves. And I hope that our country specifically and the continent as it were finds a solution to living with COVID, particularly in this trying time. So yes, why Mentorthon? Why Mentorthon? And so Mentorthon is really mentorship marathon. So think of a marathon where you're not running, but you're mentoring the next generation. And I know this is at the heart of Rotarians, it's at the heart of Rotary Club, because what you really, really believe in is service above self. Why is that the case? So that's a photo of economists 10 years apart. Very interesting because 10 years before, the economists really said Africa is an hopeless continent. But then 10 years later, they said Africa is rising, which speaks to the growth potential of Africa. Many of you in this group that have still remained in Africa, even with this, in Kenya, even with all these challenging situation, already you are taking a bet. You're taking a bet that Africa is the last growth frontier, even with all its challenges. It represents the largest opportunity across the world. But part of the reason we do Mentorthon is because we fear now that the biggest crisis of the next decade, which is equally the biggest opportunity, is young people. Anytime now, there will be more than 500 million young people that need jobs in Africa. So the real fear is Africa moving from Africa rising and reversing again to an hopeless continent, because when young people don't have opportunity, it's a really tough time. We can already begin to see that in Kenya. In Kenya alone, we have probably anything from 12 to 15 million young people that are looking for work. And so the earnest effort to create opportunity for them, to help them identify opportunity, to help them create their own opportunity is absolutely important. And that begins with people like you going out there and telling your stories about how you've been able to learn the skills that you learn, to make the decisions that you make, to make the choices that you've made, so that more young people can have a path for where they're gonna go. The other thing is that it's a massive number of young people that don't have mentors, a very, very, very low transition rates from high school to tertiary college. Probably the highest number of pregnancies happened last year, potentially, most likely because of COVID and the fact that young people who are not in school. The fact that 55% of young people in the country have tried alcohol and other forms of drugs. The fact that a number of young people are just choosing to abandon school and take up, border riding or other things that are very short term, way to generate income. But then the sad thing with that is that very quickly, then their incomes and their livelihood stagnate. But more precisely, we've had more than 400,000 pregnancies, teenage pregnancies in the country. We've had very, very national average transition rate of less than 14%, which means that a number of young people are really being left behind. And so we began Mentorthon to see if we could, just by mentorship, help improve some of these outcomes. You can't improve all of these outcomes by mentorship alone, but we found out that mentorship can at least raise those numbers, particularly transition rates, by 10% in our experience, and help young people get hope, which is a requisite thing now, a requirement now, especially in this situation where we are as a country. I want to see if I can just focus on the final number that you said there, 49%. I want you to keep that in mind as we go along. And I'll tell you why. One of the things that happens a lot to all of us is that as you come back to Nairobi, if you are not born in Nairobi, and even when you are born in Nairobi, generally, almost every community in Kenya experiences some form of role model drain. Because we come to Nairobi, we come to the cities, we go to Kisumu, we go to other cities, or we go to other towns in search of opportunity. But what ends up happening is that the communities where you come from experience some form of role model drain. And we see that on large scale as a country. The good thing for that is that it's allowed Kenya to earn significant amount of money in diaspora remittances. But the consequence of that, of course, is that a lot more young people now lack role models because of that, because of the role model drain. And so if you ever forget anything, I don't want you to forget that we have a responsibility ourselves, especially because a lot of young people could use a little bit of nudge and a little bit of help. And I was in high school, we had a lady called Penina, who had just got a first class honors, would come to us. We were in a boys' school. And what you see there is my pitch at Prota Club of Langata, explaining to them that I would like for them to support us and for them to go with us to go mentor in Elgeyo Marakwet County, which is 450 kilometers northwest of Nairobi. And I told them the story of how this young lady called Penina had just finished college at Kenyatta University. And the amazing thing with Penina is that we had never seen a girl come and speak at a boys' school. We hadn't even seen girls that successful in the sense that she just got an first honors and she'd come to actually see boys. Those, just to give you is in trousers, in Marakwet, the girls that would wear trousers only walked in a bar. And so, but then Benino was really unique in the sense that she spoke to us about our dreams. She ended up speaking to us about our own dreams. She narrated the story of Ben Carson. She told us how education could impact our lives if we were committed to that process. And she helped me shed the temptation to perform in average in our exams and helped our class in general. That year, for the first time, we had a great number to college. I ended up getting an A-, and that's how I ended up winning the scholarship in Strathmore University. Of course, I cannot attribute all that success to Penina, but I do know that the story of Penina was providential in the sense that we were challenged in a that was very personal and very unique to design more Penina encounters in the lives of more high school students, in the lives of more students, in the life of more people that need a bit of support so that they can achieve their dreams. And I have seen in the past that that also not only helps those people, but helps a number of young professionals. It helps entrepreneurs, it helps companies as well, because embedding ourselves in valuable work, in work that can make impact, I have seen that it's extremely fulfilling and a really awesome way to create friendships. And now, if you ever forget everything I tell you today, if you forget everything, I don't want you to forget the next couple of slides. In 2007, I led a research to ask a very, very fundamental question. What is it that made those young people that participated in post-election violence cross that threshold between being non-violent to being violent? Because we are about 1,300 young people that burned houses, they burned buildings, they literally brought down our country to our knees. And so what we did is we got a little bit of funding from Strathmore Business School, and we interviewed the young people that participated in violence in all the hotspots. So we went to Kisumu, went to we went to Eldoret, we went to every other place that had violence hotspot, and we interviewed both the young people that participated in violence and the ones that did not. And for the ones that participated in the violence, we promised them anonymity, that we wouldn't tell on them, we wouldn't, because we needed the data to understand their behavior. And then we did preliminary analysis at Strathmore University. We did further analysis with the help of a class at Carnegie Mellon, the Department of Engineering and Public Policy. And then we used a number of tools like exploratory statistics, Bayesian network and machine learning. And that team was led by Raul, who is my partner at QuestWorks. And then we had those three other researchers, Amit Del, Catherine Rivera, Professor Mitchell Small, and myself. And we used a number of tools. Of course, the data you remember those days is, more than 1,500 people died, 300,000 people displaced. We had economic stagnation for close to a year in Kenya. Uganda was impacted. We had 5 months of protracted negotiations. Got an end coming, and the rest of the globe coming to intervene. And we used quite a number of tools, from Excel to SPSS, Netica, R-Quad, R, Rapid Miner, to try and see if we can mine that little data that we got from just 1,300 data set and then learn something from it. We found really, really outstanding, which is powerful. Is that at 52 questions about 1,300 young people, what we found really, really amazing, which is the reason why I believe that there is something we each can do, is that we found a combination of variables that could predict violence, the likelihood. That likelihood that a young person was likely to be violent by 91%. But that is a myriad of variables. What we found astounding is a single variable, one variable, could predict the likelihood that a young person was likely to be violent. And that variable is something called self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is that link is the belief, that link between effort and reward. If a young person, or anyone for that matter, believes that their own effort can get them what they want in life, you typically can say that person has a higher self-efficacy. They are bound to be more self-reliant. They believe that their own effort can count for something. And that's so powerful. It's so powerful. A lot of empirical data, even before this research, already showed that self-belief or self-efficacy was a critical predictor for success and happiness and well-adjusted adults. But what we didn't realize is that similar variable, which is giving young people their belief that their own effort can get them what they want in life, what we didn't realize is that can cut violence. And just to make sure that I underscore the point that many young people in Kenya don't have self-belief, if you look at the annual amount of money that we bet, I think last year we bet close to 250 billion as a country, or the year before. That is our whole railway, the whole SGR, we bet it away. Why? Because young people and many people believe that their own effort cannot get them what they want. So as a result, people are very, very, very disconnected. People disconnect effort from the results, and you can't blame them. You can't blame them because a great portion of the most successful people in the country are still politicians, which means that they are the reverse role models, because many young people think that maybe they can just be lucky. And that's the really sad thing about corruption, is that it's not just that money is stolen, is that even the self-belief, even the self-efficacy of the nation, even the self-efficacy culture, even the culture of I could walk and get where I want to go, is also destroyed. And that's the reason why there is something that we can do at Mentorthon, there is something that we can do at Rotary, there is something that we can do as a Rotarian, there is something that you can do as an entrepreneur, as a professional, which is to extend that belief that you are, that your work can get you and allow you to achieve some of the goals you are. And some of us may already be at that place where we also don't believe that. But if we could make incremental efforts as a country, as a people, as professionals, as entrepreneurs, as leaders, we now know that it's the best way to reverse post-election violence. And so from our analysis, we found out that efforts to create jobs, promote self-reliance or self-efficacy and optimism, encouraging young people to practice their faith, reduction of time spent in political rallies and things like that, were the surest way to cut violence by over 91%. That is the same post-election violence that happened in 2007 and 2008 and could likely recur in the years coming if we don't attend to jobs, we don't attend to self-efficacy. And so our focus at Mentorthon was to try and see if we could do something around self-reliance and self-efficacy using role models like yourself. And so what we typically do is we do a campaign that is a 42-hour call. So it's like marathon. And we have Rotarians like yourself or entrepreneurs or leaders like yourself just commit to give us 42 hours in a year. So it's a 42-hour annual call. And we designed that experience to be fun. So we travel on a Wednesday, we have dinner that Wednesday, we get to know each other, we get to take people through a briefing. Then we mentor on Thursday, and the mentorship is split into two. Early in the morning is storytelling sessions, and then in the afternoon, curated storytelling sessions. So because we really think that telling stories, good stories about ourselves and our country is a very good way to embed and change behavior, and that has been proven scientifically to be of great impact. And then in the afternoon, we would do sessions with the students where we can walk through several problems, whether it's practicing for an exam, whether it's revision, whether it's tackling relationship issues that the kids have, or any other problems that are particular to that group of students. And then we do the same thing on Friday, and then on Saturday we would just have a fun time with the mentors. In some cases we've done a bit of tree planting, but in many cases we use that Saturday to just make sure that we can have more fun. People hang out, people have lunch, people get together, almost like the scholarships you have at Rotary and Rotaract. And so it's really built on the idea that we rally role models. We bring together students from schools, quite a number of students on one go. We rally brand partners. We develop content, and then we gather data that allows us to hopefully down the line share that information with policymakers, and then sort of promote tourism in the places where we go, and there's an environment as well. But perhaps for you as a mentor and Rotarian, we now have several Mentorthon babies. The sense that a number of people came, they didn't know other people, and by the time they leave, they had built a good relationship, and those relationships have ended up generating more value for those members beyond the fact that they were of value and of mentors. And in many cases, when we interview our mentors, all of them always want to come back. All of them have brought more than 5 other mentors to come. All of them are so happy that they got the opportunity to mentor, and the reason for that is that it's also extremely fulfilling for them. And in many cases, we always go back as mentors and we come back as mentees, because the sense of optimism, the sense when you speak to young people and you see how excited they are to listen to you, there's just something that is extremely that sense of hope. Sometimes people in the city need that, because sometimes you go through the rounds and you don't even get to appreciate that you're making significant progress in your career. And it takes telling your story, where you are when you were in high school, to sort of reflect and see that perspective. And so some of our partners were KCCA, ACCA, we had Kengen, our company Questworks, Strathmore University, KCB Bank, and a number of other partners have come with us to sign up, whether it's a year or 2 year or 3 year. This, we didn't do Mentorthon last year, partly COVID, and also partly because as a president, I didn't quickly handle that transition to digital. And I'm really hoping that in the next coming months, we can do that. We can do Mentorthon digital, particularly because with COVID now, we can no longer bring the number of students we would bring at once. We helped organize the largest experiential mentorship event in the country. We would bring together more than 9,000 young people in two days. And so with COVID, that is no longer possible. So we will be embedding a bit more technology so that we can continue doing what we were doing. So yeah, that's just our growth in 2016. We did it in 2018. 2017, we skipped it because of politics. We didn't want the platform politicized. And so in 2018, we ended up meeting about 7,300 students. 2019, that number grew to about 15,000. And one of the things we would do, apart from going with mentors, so about 115 in 2019, is we would also give free content. So the brand partners that come with us will co-create content with us, and we would give those to the students so that they can be giveaways for them. We did Elgeyo Marakwet and Laikipia County. Elgeyo Marakwet just because I came there and it was easier for me to begin at home. But then this member of parliament called Patrick Marira really pursued us, and that's how we ended up expanding to Laikipia. Last year we signed up Turkana, and we were slated to begin Turkana, West Pokot, and Samburu, but just before COVID, and we hope that in the coming year we can actually be more national, especially with the possibility of remote technology-led mentorship. So yes, that's our experience. In 2016, we met 4,600 students. In 2018, we mentored about 7,300. In 2019, it's not 6,200 actually. We mentored more than 15,000 in 2019, catalyzing a little over 9,000 volunteer hours from people like yourself. Incidentally, it also gave us a really good brand building opportunity. We were trending for nearly 4 days, which was good for our partners, because sometimes corporate partners want to sponsor you for other reasons beyond being of help. So we had more than 100 million impressions, which was good for them. And in Elgeyo Marakwet, when we post mentorship, posted the 2018 mentorship, we saw 10% improvement in number of students that went to university, number of students that performed better. So we had 10% improvement in grade, which was really good. Those are just some photos of some of our partners, some students participating in Mentorthon. And so why do we do what we do? Apart from what I've told you about the real need to do something about efficacy, self-belief, is that you really do touch lives. That's Nyambura telling us that our team was of great help to her. She'd lost life, and that she's extremely grateful. Paul said, one of our mentees called Titus, who happens to be an engineer, took time and spent time with him during the after sessions. And he says Titus was a great mentor, and he just got an A- of 77 points, and he's extremely grateful for the Mentorthon program. and on and on and on. And part of the reason we really want to do that is that if you only did all that effort and ended up just changing 1 or 2 students, it's worth the while, because that 1 or 2 students is a student that would not have otherwise have experienced a story of a mentor like yourself or myself or anyone else. In the coming year, we really hope that we can embed more technology so that we can do more remote mentorship, and we can roll out after-school programming, which is where we see a lot of anxiety among young students that have just finished high school, and they are thinking, what do we do? What is it that we can do? And I hope that we can potentially work together. Want to see if we can support and connect more mentors together, so that that community of mentors can continue to grow and expand. How could we potentially work together with Rotary Club of Madaraka this year, the coming year, and hopefully the coming years to go, as well as any other Rotary Club for that matter? I believe that there are more opportunities. Rotarians are already doing what I'm doing. I know that I should not have to preach to you and tell you anything about service, because you already sacrificed a significant amount of time. The only thing that I promise you is that what we do is also fun and is extremely fulfilling. And so I hope that we can take advantage and work together, catalyze the professional entrepreneurs and leaders like yourself as role models, because you already are role models. Whatever you're doing, your story can be told in a way that other young people like you 15 years ago, 20 years ago can relate to. And that also means that we can extend that to other Rotary clubs. I see a lot of opportunity to do a bit of research around, the attitudes of young people. The number of the age of the people we meet in Rotary, in Mentorthon, is the median age of the country. That's 17, 18 years. 17, 18 years is the median age of the country, which tells us that if we are not speaking to them and learning from them and understanding their attitudes, we can't potentially plan development. We can't potentially plan the future. We can't, if we don't understand the psyche of an 18-year-old and 17-year-old, we wouldn't be able to lead more than half of the country. And I hope that there is an opportunity to do research that can support public policy, that can help support programming on education, and priorities of the country for these young people. The other thing, of course, is obviously brand partnerships. Some of you are entrepreneurs and business people, and I hope that we can potentially do something, even specific to your funds. So if you run a solar company, we could co together do solar programming, solar skill sets for high school students and post high school students. Opportunity to partner on technology, especially as we're beginning to build a platform for digital mentorship, media partnerships, because we found out already that it matters a lot that we do have some mentors that have a huge following, because a great part of changing a culture and a great part of changing the size of a nation is to really speak to their role models. And that requires media support, that requires embedding the stories that you tell in mainstream media, social media, and any other media. Yeah, so of course, leverage networks, as it were. These are ways that I think that we could potentially work together, either as individual or even as a club. Thank you so much. And more importantly is that it will allow the Rotary Club and Rotary Club and any one of us to strengthen friendships. And friendships have been found to significantly improve the life expectancy of all of us. If you are very good friends and very good family, you are likely to live longer than if you didn't have that. And I think that Rotary, Mentorthon, doing things together, especially for other people, as a way of generating friendships, because you're likely to meet more people that hopefully share your values and care about the things you care about, and hopefully also care about each other. We certainly will create moments of fun for for the members as well as retractors, as well as anyone that participates in our program, which is really something cool. Along the way, I've been very fortunate that some people noticed what I was doing. And when I turned 31, I got selected for top 40 under 40, which is a blessing, because at least it just speaks to the fact that, I used to shy away a lot from publicity, but I now realize that publicity is also a way in which more people can get to know what we do, and if they know what we do, they will likely, hopefully, catalyze a bit more support and resources for our effort. Those are photos of myself at the Washington, D.C. Mentorthon was awarded an SDG ambassador by ActionAid, which was also good validation for the work we were doing. Yes, and it's extremely fun. It's extremely fun. An opportunity to work together with young people is a really amazing thing. You make many friends. We've met, and you will have an opportunity to make really good friends. And along the way, you make friends. Along the way, I've made really good friends from Rotary, from Mentorthon family. A number of our mentors have become really good friends. And we hope that that community can continue to grow. Yes, and you may meet awesome, cool people. I had the opportunity to meet President Barack Obama, partly because of this work, but also partly because of our work at QuestWorks. Yes, and even more cool people and more powerful people. In that room, I have 9 world presidents. The gentleman you see in the front there is Richard Branson. Perhaps you're wondering, who am I? I'm the guy at the corner there. The only thing that you might notice is the white teeth and very dark skin. And yes, you might also, meet cool people if you do cool things. And yes, I got a chance to watch New York Mets. You're wondering where I am? That's me there, with white teeth and black, really, really dark skin. I'm wearing a Guinness hat, and I'll tell you why. Yes, I tell you why. Because I'm a Guinness scholar. So along the way, you also get to celebrate and be cheerful. Yes, make really good friends. That's me at Rutgers. More than 50 friends from across Africa. And I'm sure that the work that we get to do together will also be an opportunity to meet more new people. Thank you so much. Please reach out. Team Kipchumba on Twitter, at mentorthon.com, and even the email is there. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. President.
Well, thank you very much, Tim. That was quite insightful. So we shall move to the Q&A section. So if you have a question, please raise your hand. As we wait for people to raise their hands, I have a question here from Rotarian Lorraine of RC Karen. Her question is that I support organizations manage their bursary funds. Over the years, I've realized that a group of this that missed out sorry. Let me just start afresh. I support organizations manage their bursary funds. Over the years, I have realized that a group that is missed out and that is a bursary beneficiary who do very well in KCSE. I think let's take another question as I just figure this out.
Okay, President, I'm here. I can ask it.
Yes, please.
All right. Thank you very much, Tim. That was very enlightening. My question is, like the President is alluding to, I do support organizations that run bursary funds, and our job is to manage their bursaries. So my question is, we've realized in the recent past that there's a group that tends to be missed out. Like right now, KCP, everybody is saying there's a bursary, CDF, there are people willing to give money for these kids to go to high school. But then once they are done with high school, and I think this is quite a huge problem, some of these kids perform really well and they end up just, staying at home with their certificates. And I feel, we need to, organizations like yourself, ourselves as Rotarians, need to do more for this category, because I feel they are more frustrated having gone to national schools, gotten an A, and then gone back with that certificate at home. How do we support this group of people? Thank you.
I don't know if I should take that or
Yes, please. Yes,
sure I
please.
could Lorraine, I don't know why. Does that mean that they never even get an opportunity to go to campus?
They can't afford it. Remember, they've been supported through bursary funds from Form 1 to Form 4. So even getting to school is a problem half the time. So once they perform well, then you find these students are just ravaging, still in poverty back home where they come from.
Yeah, so I can relate. I can relate. I mean, if Guinness gave me only, if Guinness gave only my tuition scholarship, I might not have joined Strathmore University. So what they ended up doing is that they gave me also accommodation. Without that accommodation, I might not have been able to actually even attend college. And so I think that we could do. I mean, especially for the students that have received bursaries, there has to be a way in which we can follow those students post the school. And just to give you an example, when Equity Bank gave out scholarships, they try to follow those students and give them mentorship support. And like they got asked to give them books every year. They got a number of mentors to follow them. But even then, there is still a question of transition, because they never really get to achieve 100% transition. And I think there might need we need to do a lot more work around capacity support for the partners, support for the partners that are actually giving scholarships, so that they don't just look at financial help, but they also look at all these other social help. Because half the time you give these young people money, but because of where they come from, because of all the level of poverty, because of all the psychological problems that they have, there is always something that is their vision. And I think that that is something that we could fix with a bit of behavioral change, a bit of mentorship, and just systems just to track those students post I reach out Lorraine and see if there's something that we can do for any specific one or two organizations that you're looking at, and we can put our heads together and work on something.
Thank you.
There's something here from Corinne. She's saying, great presentation, team, great course. Can someone access data from your survey for similar work? And of course, for a fee.
No, sure. We'll happily share.
Okay.
We'll happily share. Thank you so much, Josh.
Is there any other? So that's from Josh. You just read it. That's well done, team. Yeah. Great presentation and great work that you and your team at Mentorthon are doing. Glad to see you're still a Rotarian at heart. We also have from Bakita, great presentation, team. Asante. Is there any other question? Any question for team?
Any questions? Yeah. Thank you so much, Elsie and Corinne.
We have Kinyo has a question. Kinyo, please go ahead.
Hi, Samuel. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can
Yeah,
hear
we can
you.
hear you and clear.
Good evening to everyone. I was inquiring whether Mentorthon is like a sort of a society that you join, and if so, what?
So are you still there?
Kenya, we missed your words. The last we heard is whether Mentorthon is a society. I think he was muted, sorry. Kenya?
Kenya, you're still there?
Hey, Kenya, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry,
Can
your
you-
call came in. Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, your
that's
call
fine.
came in. Did you hear the first part of my question?
No, if you could just repeat from the top.
Okay, yeah. I was asking if Mentorthon is a society which is open to receiving other people joining in, and whether they can join in as mentors or as mentees, and if so, what are the requirements and processes to become one? Thank you.
Oh, okay. No problem. So, okay. We are not a society, but we are really open. I mean, we are open for, it's all volunteer effort. And so every so often we reach out to mentors, but I'll be really happy to just get in touch with you. Please kindly, email me at maybe team@mentorthon.com or just follow us on social media, and I'll be so happy to get together. We are an entity that is registered as a company limited by guarantee, but it doesn't really matter. We welcome mentors, we welcome partners, we welcome anyone that cares about the idea that their own story and their own organization can impact the way young people think about their future, think about themselves, think about their values, think about their own effort, getting them what they want to achieve in their own lives and in the lives of other people. So yes, please kindly reach out. I have left on the screen, I have left our contacts, but just even if you were to just search Mentorthon, you can easily reach us.
Okay, thank you.
Charlene, thank you so much.
Yeah, and congratulations on the progress you've done so far. It's very commendable and admirable.
Oh, no, thank you. I look forward to working with you.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
Looks like we don't have any other question.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
yeah,
President.
Maybe my question to you would be, just based on what you do at QuestWorks and all that you're doing, how do you still get time to do this Mentorthon?
I think my involvement has been about 1 week for every edition, at least 1 week for every edition, time off, and maybe an additional 1 week. So the total time effort is probably like 1 month a year. So I just take that time and consider it as leave. But I'm really hoping that in the years coming, we will have a team and a secretariat inbuilt so that so that it can scale beyond the efforts of one person. I am not the only one right now. We have a team of about 10 core leaders that take up significant amount of work every time we have a large mentorship effort. And every day that team is growing. We have more than 200 members that are active. So I really can take part of the reason why it's still doable to do what I do at Mentorthon, and I mean at Questworks, and still do Mentorthon, is precisely because of all those number of people that are volunteering their time. Yeah, and I guess also grace, you know, like God gives you grace when you're doing things for other people. He opens doors, whether it's energy or money or you know, even the interest. And I hope that God, you know, God can still give us the strength to keep doing what we, you know, what He would like us to do. Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much, President, for hosting me, and for your support, even at our company at Questworks, and for Happy for really persisting. Abby was extremely persistent. I was a little bit almost not reachable. She really persisted, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that you have hosted me in your club. And I hope that one day I can join you when it allows.
Yes, certainly. Thank you very much for joining us. You know, we started planning this quite a long time, and I know you've been in a series of fundraising and also selling the properties, and it's been a tight time for you. So I'd like to thank you very much for making time to speak to us this evening. Just from the messages that people are sending, it shows that we have learned a lot. We have left, this meeting better people, and I hope that it's a call to action to those who are listening, so that we can join, Mentorthon and support these children and show them that there is a greater life ahead for them. There are better things to dream of. So thank you very, very much. And thank you for the kind words. I know Abigail is extremely persuasive, and I'm sure she's happy to hear that she's made this evening possible. So thank you very much, team. And we shall be sending you a certificate as our gratitude towards you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So for the next part of the meeting, we shall go to the part to AA. And for this, I shall ask Past President Josh to assist with the collection for the day. Okay, I'll ask our President-elect, Wilson, come out to assist with the SA part of this meeting.
Thank you, President. And I also want to thank Team Kipchumba for the great presentation he's had, very insightful. Thank you so much for making the time. Really appreciate that presentation, and I wish you all in your future endeavors. So it's time for SA. SA is the time we collect happy dollars, sad dollars for small activities for a club admin, and also for our foundation. So I'd like to open the floor up for myself to start with. One happy dollar for the presenter today, and another happy dollar for this month. It's a birthday month, so two happy dollars for me. just to explain for the guests who are here today, Happy Dollars is the session where you can tell us something that happened during the week that made you happy, so we can celebrate together. And a sad dollar, you can also tell us something that has made you sad during the week, so we can empathize with you. So I'll open the floor up for any happy dollar, sad dollars. As I said, and to make your contribution, you can use the M-Pesa pay bill number that is being projected on your by the president of the screen. So use the pay bill number 982-800, account number Rotary MCAF. So, or you can use the account number below. So I'd like to open the floor for happy dollar, sad dollar. If you have happy dollar, sad dollar, please raise your hand or write it out on the chat. So the floor is open. Our happy dollar is only 100 shillings. Sad dollar only 100 shillings.
Hi, this is Biama. I actually have 3 happy dollars. One happy actually goes to Tim. That was a great presentation. And I love the flair on how you just gave out that story. It was really chatty. And the second dollar actually goes to the meeting. As in every Monday is just happy to meet up with my fellow Rotarians. This is just fantastic. The third one is, well, I've just had a lovely day. I thought, let me just share that. The lovely part will be shared maybe in some other time, not today. Thank you.
Thank you, Biama. Thank you so much. Happy dollar, sad dollar. Sorry, I've seen your hands. Just a minute, just pulling it out. So, Corinne, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I want to give 2 happy dollars. One to Tim's presentation. Tim, I really admire your passion, and I guess it comes from your story. That's really a challenge and encouraging, and just the way you do it with a lot of excellence. So that's the first happy dollar. Second happy dollar, thank you God for the race, and pray that it shall be a productive year.
Thank you so much, Corinne. Lydia, go ahead.
Thank you. I just wanted to give 2 happies. One happy for the great presentation. I think the work the presenter is doing is very commendable. Mentorship is something I'm very passionate about, and it's good to hear that there are other ways that we can mentor even during these tough times. Yes, then the second one is just being able to fellowship today with everyone. Glad to be alive. Thank you.
Thank you, Lydia. Thank you so much for that. So again, floor is still open for happy dollar, sad dollar.
Mr. President-elect.
Yes.
I want to give my 3 happy dollars for the great presentation, for the fact that today is a Monday, and for all reasons for being happy.
Thank you so much, Past President Henry. Anyone else? Any more takers? Don't close out for anyone. Joel. Rosabella left. Yeah. Jockey. Any happy dollar, sad dollar?
I have shared on the chat.
Sorry?
I have shared on the chat. I've sent.
Cool. Sorry. Happy dollar for Tim for the great presentation, and for my guest Antonina for joining us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jockey, and thank you for bringing us a guest today. Thank you so much, Antonina, for joining us during this presentation.
Thank you.
I see Susan has said $3 happy, one to team for the good presentation, second gift of life, and the third one last Monday of the month. Thank you so much, Susan, for the happy dollar. We have a message here from team saying, thank you, can't wait to connect again soon. Please connect our team at Mentorthon or at Team Kipchumba on Twitter. Any more happy dollar, sad dollar? Okay, thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for participating during this session. Over back to you.
Thank you very much, PE. I have $5 happy. That's for this meeting. Thank you everyone for being here. The other happy dollar is to the guest speaker. Tim, thank you for making time and for speaking to us this evening. The rest, it's the last week of the month. Excited about it and looking forward to the remaining 2 months of presidency. Thanks. Okay, so everyone, thank you very, very much for being here this evening. I mean, we have a number of clubs represented, and I'd like to thank all the clubs for joining us this evening. Hold on. Yes, I'd like to thank all the clubs that have joined us this evening. So I shall start with the final toast. Okay, so if you have a glass, please charge it. If not, place your right hand over your heart. So to the Rotaract Club of Nairobi Parklands, the Rotaract Club of UN Afya, the Rotary Club of Kampala Metropolitan, Rotary Club of Karen, Rotary Club of Nairobi Langata. This is the Rotary Club of Nairobi Madaraka. I give you Rotary and Rotaract the world over.
Rotary and Rotaract the world over.
Well, thank you everyone. I just wishing you all an awesome week and great Labor Day. Sadly, sad for going to on a Saturday, but yeah, have a great one and an awesome start to the month of May. Thank you.